is the time of globalization. Innovative products have entered our markets. This has tremendous effect on our lifestyle, fashion, culture, and food. Recent introductions like burger, pizza, barbecue, etc. are being sold everywhere. The use of chicken, beef, and pork has increased. More number of vegetarians have started accepting pork now due to its low fat. This resulted in an increase in the number of pig farms with exotic breeds. Today's package on Away from Oil explains all you need to know about pig farming. Well, thank you so mumuch for joining me on another interesting edition of Away from Oil. The very sweet thing about this adventure is that it has exposed us so much to so many information about this oil in the first place. It is not sustainable. Oil is not sustainable because there are so many risks. Judging from what we have heard, assuming you want to do it by the corner, as in bunkers and all whatnot, you face a whole lot of risks. Risks of losing your life and that of your product. So why venture into it in the first place? Either you lose it to the Joint Task Force on Petroleum, who will catch you and burn and destroy the product, or you even risk your life, Again, even if you work in the oil sector proper, how many people can be employed? And how many people can sustain that job? So you see, it's better to venture into so many other things, like, say, pig farm. Well, that brings us to exactly why we're here. This is a location somewhere in Abuloma, Port Harcourt, and we're here to see a pig farmer, a man who has a lot of interesting tales, which of course you will hear directly from the horse's mouth. I am Mina Adobe Kovasi. Once again, thanks for joining me. Pig farming, a branch of animal husbandry, is a process of breeding and raising domestic pigs for personal or commercial purposes in a piggery. Pigs are largely a native of the African continent and belongs to the genus Sus, which is within the family of even-tailed ungulates.
I'm an agricultural economist and extension by profession, but at the same time I'm a civil servant, having retired for 3 years now, and having not received any pension. I have to look inwards on how to survive. That means I have to go back to the professional technique I know in farming profession. I started this farm on a small scale while working, and now having retired, I have to look inwards and go full time, starting with the piggery farm, and then extending to poultry, layers, and broilers.
Eslobos Integrated Farms Limited is a branch of Eslobos Group of Companies located at number 224 Eneka Iguruta Airport Road. It is the next stop over when it comes to farm produce, training and consultancy on the world best practices. The poultry session prides itself of over 5,000 birds per pen and cage, with a total of about 6 pens and a harvest per day of 10,000 crates. The fishery session is second to none, with about 24 concrete ponds, with a capacity of 10,000 fishes for each, and we're in custom sales. Snail production of over 15,000 table sizes, and a plantain plantation. Our farm market has the best processing unit and the mother of them all, the feed mill, with production capacity of over 40 tons per day. What else can we ask for? For bookings and inquiries, call the following numbers or visit our social media handles on your screen. Eslobos Integrated Farms Limited. We are proudly Nigeria. Before now, pork, shockingly, was the most widely consumed meat in the world, followed by poultry and beef. but later ignored by some people for various reasons and beliefs. These ideologies have kept Africa at just producing less than 5% of the world's pork products, thereby making pig farming industry one of the smallest on earth.
I had to enter into piggery production because pig has almost 15,000 taste buds as against human beings that have 9,000 taste buds. So that means that pig can eat anything, ranging from waste foods onto pulses and vegetables. So it is easier to manage pig than when you talk about poultry. Yes, this is my store for the piggery farm, and what you have here is what we call by abbreviation PKC, palm kernel cake. This palm kernel cake is part of the feed composition for the pigs. We combine it with other ingredients to make a balanced ration for the pigs. And so this is what I do every morning. I have to do a local compounding for my pigs. Here you have a corn shaft, soya bean shaft, and fish offals, which provide protein and some level of energy with which I use in compounding the feed. So by the time I mix the spent grain and the PKC, I will now use the fish offals and make a kind of stew and porridge for the pigs. Yam peels have some level of energy. Like I told you, in feed compounding for the pigs, they need energy food, proteinous food. They need some level of calcium, which we get from oyster shells and bone meal. They need some other ingredients, minerals. But for this yam peel, basically it's energy for them. Then the plantain adds some level of iron for them. This palm kernel cake has some level of fat and energy, with which some level of oil, fat, protein, and energy. So in this pen, you have about 16 winners, but they are females. I have just weaned them from their mother, and you know that the gestation period for pig, when they are in, that's when they are kind of in pigs, is 114 days, 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days, and then they will farrow.
I used to hear that it's 114 to 117 days.
Now they made it 333, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. So these ones are winners, female ones, and then in the next 5 months they will be matured gills ready to take in.
So you normally separate the males from the females once they give birth?
Yes, they are sorted. Once they give birth after weaning, weaning is between 4 weeks to 9 weeks, but I do early weaning.
Okay, weaning, you need to explain weaning for the layman.
What weaning means, you say, when the piglets are matured, when they are up to 4 weeks, you separate them.
Breast,
they still suck, but you separate them from their mother, so you make them to stop sucking breast.
Okay.
And then so that they can be eating crib feed, what we call crib feed are mashy feeds. They don't eat solid. Crib feed like the ones we mix. They'll be learning with that one until they start eating solid food. And so what you have here are female pigs we call winners. Like I said, in the next 5 months, they'll be ready to take in. When they take in, we'll call them in-gills. That is adult pig that is mature to get pregnant for the first time. We'll call them in-gills.
Since the cost of pig feed can be relatively low, raising pigs has proven to be one of the most affordable branches of animal husbandry and one of the most lucrative farm businesses to venture into, especially since they produce more meat than almost all other farm animals, including sheep, goats, and cattle, and their global demand is at an explosive rate.
This one is spent grain. They are waste from wheat, and I normally get this from Pablo Brewery. What you have here is about 15 tons. Before I used to buy that for 10, it was even free. But now everything is costly. From 10 now, it has gone to 50,000. But this quantity, I can use them for 3 months, and I will mix other ingredients to make sure they will last for me to get the weight in the pigs I want within this period of 3 months. So 15 tons are here. Like I told you, I will use them to be mixing the PKC, the wheat, the fish offals, and the fish bones to get a balanced nutrient or balanced ration for the pigs every morning. Okay. This one, I've just weaned the children from the mother. So what I'm waiting for is for it to come on heat. When it comes on heat, it is ready to take in to receive man. So as soon as it comes on heat, I'm going to introduce the man, or I take her and introduce to the man. These are the ingills I was telling you. These ones are getting pregnant for the first time. And their grandmother or their mother is that first mother there. Give birth to them, give birth to about 7. One of them is the male I'm telling you I will use to cross the other, that will take over from the other one. So both of them, one is pregnant, one is now on heat. Meaning that by the time I introduced the man to them earlier, he didn't take in. So I will reintroduce that man so that the second one can take in. When they are ready to receive man, you see the vulva is reddish. At that point, they are ready to receive man. Immediately introduce the male pig, the female pig will not reject. Otherwise, it will reject for 3 or 4 days. The man will keep rattling until the female is ready to receive. By that time, it must have come on heat. There are other styles we want to use in making them come on heat faster. First, you bring in the man. As the man's urine, as the man is urinating, the female one is hearing the odor. When he's hearing the odor, it arouses the female pig to come on heat quick. Or you can use pawpaw leaf. Every morning you go and flog the vulva for 3-4 days. By the 4th day to be on heat. That is forced heat. But I don't want forced heat. I need natural heat, because by natural heat, the eggs, you now get large, bigger number of liter sizes than when you now do forced heat. Okay.
How many can stay in one this thing?
The space requirement for one adult pig is about 1 meter square. By which time they should weigh between 20 and 50 kg. If they go beyond that to 80 kg, you are now talking about 2 meters square. Now, if you calculate 2 meters square, the spacing by standard specification will require a lot of space. So locally, what we do now, we can group a range of winners having 10 to 30 or 20 to 30 in one room of 4 by 4 meters. 4 by 4 meters can take between 20 to 30 winners in a room. But when they are ready, when they are in, that is when they have taken in for the first time, you now begin to isolate them to separate rooms. Because as at that time, they are carrying piglets. They are carrying piglets, and then care is needed on them. Now, these 2 sows have farrowed once. I bought them from a contact farmer at Uibo. When they were in sow, I bought them at the price of 65,000 each.
Wow.
They have farrowed once, and then I have reserved them. So they are now pregnant. In the next 2 months plus, they will farrow. So same also with this one. This one is pregnant, 1 month plus pregnancy. So in the next 2 months, it will also farrow. This one specifically used to give very high liter size. It gives between 13 to 15 liter size of piglets per farrow. On veterinary care services, the health of the pigs, the good health of the pigs are very important. So you must have a veterinary professional to either advise you or come in on quarterly basis to inspect the pigs. And then there is this issue of inoculation of the piglets plus their mothers when once they farrow. And again, the castration of the male piglets. The importance of castration is such that it makes the male pigs very big and fatty. That can go for more money. So what we do on veterinary services is that as soon as the pig farrows, within the first week, you give them iron injection. You now inject them with 1 mil of the iron injection. And then for the mothers, you give them 5 mil of antibiotics injection. That should either long-acting. The antibiotics are different types. The long-acting injection you give to the mothers that are not pregnant. Well, if you give the long-acting to the pregnant ones, you discover that by the time they farrow, the piglets will die. So, but it's better you give the long-acting antibiotics injections to the mothers once they have farrowed. And then the piglets, you now inject them with iron injection within the first week of farrowing. Once you have done this, the next stage is you deworm them after 3 weeks. You deworm the piglets after 3 weeks so that all the worms in them they can eat well and grow with some level of speed. There are other drugs we give. There is something we call grow fast. They are all in veterinary shop. If you want the piglets to grow fast within a short period, you go and get those vitamins and mix it either in their food or in their water for them to drink. Then once we have done this, every 3 months you deworm. Every 3 months you also inject them for iron injection. Once you see a piglet that you sick, you will know. It will not be eating food. It will be cool. It will not be eating food. It will be getting macheting. And then at that point, you now know that this pig is not even growing at the same pace with his colleagues. You have to isolate it to an isolation pen. I have one there. You have to isolate it. If you see that one and see the age of the other ones, you will not believe. All the small farms like this can operate in Rivers State. I can tell you that if a farm enterprise can take up to 2-3 attendants, and if we have like 5,000 in Rivers State, multiply that number and you see the job creation that farming will provide for the populace. The problem is that a lot of youths do not want to take to farming, but I want to tell you that there is profit and there is good business in farming. It only takes patience and endurance and hard work, because this kind of work is labor and capital intensive. And so if you are able to have the passion for this kind of business, then you'll be a happy person for it.
Estlobos Integrated Farms Limited is a branch of Estlobos Group of Companies located at number 224 Emeka Iguruta Airport Road. It is the next stop over when it comes to farm produce, training and consultancy on the world best practices. The poultry section prides itself of over 5,000 birds per pen and cage, with a total of about 6 pens and a harvest per day of 10,000 crates. The fishery section is second to none, with about 24 concrete ponds, with a capacity of 10,000 fishes for each, and we're in constant sales. Snail production of over 15,000 table sizes and a plantain plantation. Our farm market has the best processing unit and the mother of them all, the feed mill, with production capacity of over 40 tons per day. What else can we ask for? For bookings and inquiries, call the following numbers or visit our social media handles on your screen. Eslabos Integrated Farms Limited. We are proudly Nigeria.
If you want to start a pig farm, there are 3 basic things you look out for. One of them is, first and foremost, the market. How do you market your product? Who are the people that are going to be your customer? Maybe you have seen that window, then you now consider location. In terms of location, it must be accessible to near road, where there is water and electricity, and the environment should be conducive for the pig. Then you consider the financial involvement. In pig farming, it's labor and capital intensive. But I will advise that you start small. By the time you start small, you grow from there. Maybe you start with 3 in pigs and then 1 boer. And I can bet you that these 3 in pigs and 1 boer, within 1 year, you are talking in the range of 45 to 50 piglets or beyond within 1 year. From there, you expand, you begin to discover that you need more space. But as you sell off, you now use the income to now establish more building. And from there, you can even diversify. So these are the basic things you want to consider: location, marketing, and the financial involvement in pig farming. Thank you.
My name is Gipsy Jaja, and like you see, we're taking care of the pigs, and it's fun for me. I like what I do. It keeps me busy. Outside the fact that I get money from what I do, it's a fun. I like seeing the pigs grow. It's a nice thing when you come, you see one of the pigs give birth to its child, to a piglet. It's a nice thing to do. I just enjoy myself, and it makes me stay out of friends. At least friends that will keep me, that want me to do 1 or 2 evil things or bad things. Not that all friends are bad, but it just keeps me out of them. So I like what I do. It's a nice thing. I get money from it, and I love seeing pigs grow.
Wow, very interesting tour, if you ask me. Well, this tour has taught me a few things. One, pig farming is very sustainable. Pig farming is very profitable, and of course you need less manpower, and the food can be sourced locally, so that makes it very cheap to also feed them. Then what are we waiting for here? Why hustle for white-collar jobs, oil jobs, and what have you, when you alone can be your own boss? Relax in your house, and of course engage in pig farming or any other sector of the economy. What can I say? Wouldn't you want to own a pig farm today? I would definitely want to own one. I want to thank you at this juncture for being part of the show Away From Oil, for joining us here in Abloma, and of course for touring with me in this wonderful farm owned by Mr. Fubara Samiri. I am Mina Adobe Okobasi. Bye.